Okay. All right. Welcome to our team call, everybody. We're so glad to see you. I feel like it's been a long time since we've done one of these. I think it's only been 2 weeks, but it feels like a while. So we're glad to see your faces tonight. We're so excited to have a really special guest speaker. Allie Holt, Double Zaya exec, is on the call. And Allie, we've known Allie since way back. I mean, I think it's been almost the full 3 years that we've been in this business, but Allie is so fun to watch. If you don't follow her on Instagram, I always tease her that she sells me on everything. I'm like, oh, I want to buy that. Like her reviews are so good. You just want to buy everything she talks about, which is part of the technique she's going to share with you guys tonight, and that's attraction marketing. So attraction marketing is just that you have people come to you instead of having to go to people, which is really, really lovely. I know all of us would say, yes, sign us up for that. We'd rather have people message us because it is easier that way. So I'm so excited that she's going to be sharing and taking some time out tonight. So Allie, I'll let you unmute and I'll mute myself.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for having me. I'm super excited. Katie had actually originally asked me to talk about something else, and I was like, I don't really know. I don't know about that. So she was like, well, what are you really good at? And I'm like, what I really love is attraction marketing. And so I know some of you guys have probably heard my summit, what are we calling it, speech? I don't know, my speech from Summit, and I'm changing it a little bit, so hopefully this won't be repetitive for those who have listened to it. But this is really where I'm comfortable talking about, and I think it kind of goes back to how I really built my business and where I rooted myself from day one. So quick story on me. So I actually joined Zaya in November of 2017, and my husband actually went to high school with Aaron Bradley. And so I knew about Zaya the day it launched. And I was approached by Sarah Anderson, actually. And Sarah texted my husband. They went to school together. And she said, hey, does your wife want to be part of this new business that Aaron just launched? And it's called Zia. Well, that's what my husband told me. It's called Zia. It's spelled Xiya. And you should totally join. And so my husband's like, you got to join this Zia company. It sounds so awesome. And I was like, no. Hard pass, like I'm not selling anything. And especially, of course, we were newly, like, you know, back in the day, I was just like, I'm not gonna hang out with these girls that you went to high school with. And anyway, super close-minded, and just honestly very close-minded to direct sales from the beginning. And so anyway, a few months went by, and I ended up following Jody Bennett on Instagram, and I bought a pair of leggings and fell in love, like all of us did. And shortly joined 3 months later. And but I joined by, I mean, I was literally like getting dragged into this company. I did not want to join Zaya, you guys. And my husband, so at the time when I joined, there were 2 starter kits, and it was a $400 kit or an $800 kit. And my husband was like, babe, if you do this, I will buy the $800 kit for you. And I was like, can you guys hear me? Are we good? It was cutting out. Are we good now?
It's just a little crackly.
I was afraid of that. Let me just scoot back a little bit in my closet and see if this helps. If it gets worse, let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Tell me if this is better. Okay, so anyway, long story short, we bought the big kit. I joined and fell in love. But I promised myself I would never be the girl who bombarded my friends and family. I was going to be the one that hid behind my phone and did everything behind my phone if it killed me. I wouldn't hold Facebook parties. I would do no such thing. So I was going to be the girl on Instagram and Facebook, and that is it. And so I did. I held up to my own standard for 6 weeks. I did nothing but build on my Instagram account, and just worked my booty off for the first month and a half until I was approached by a friend. And she actually was like, hey, will you host a Facebook party with me? I'll be your hostess. And I was like, no, this is not happening. I am not doing this, please. And she was like, I promise you, I will do all the work. So it was kind of backwards, kind of what we say now, like, I'll do all the work. My hostess was like, I will do all the work. Just like, give me a link. Give me a link and I'll do this. So anyway, we did a party. It was fine. It was a great party. But I truly believe that's why I've been successful with attraction marketing, is because I really forced myself to do it. And I kind of was doing it without even knowing it at the time. So when I found out what attraction marketing was about, I don't know, 9 months ago, someone asked me to train on it, and I was like, what's attraction marketing? And they're like, are you serious? You don't know what it is? And I'm like, I don't know. I guess I don't know. So spent some time on YouTube, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I do that. I guess I'm okay at that. So it is kind of my jam. And basically, I mean, in a nutshell, you guys, it's just being yourself on social media and showing up every day. Like, I could close my computer and just be like, just show up and be yourself, and that's attraction marketing. But there are some things that, you know, help break it down a little bit more. So if you're writing this down and you've written down attraction marketing, I want you guys to scratch it out, and I want you to write down stories matter, okay? Your story matters, and your stories matter. So that is, if you don't get anything else, just remember that your story matters and you have to tell it. So we're going to talk about the 3 pillars, which I'm excited that I use this word because I love pillars. I love the society pillars, so I was like, we're just going to call them pillars. So the 3 pillars of success for marketing on social media. And your first one is going to be create relationships. Okay, so sounds obvious. Obviously, we're on, you know, social media to connect with people. But have you guys ever heard the quote, your network is your net worth? So your network is your net worth. So everybody that you're talking to, every single person is a potential somebody, whether they're a potential customer, a potential hostess, or a potential rep. Your network is your net worth. And your job as a network marketer is just that, to network and to grow your community. And that means you have to have conversations. Networking means you have to actually interact with people. So what you need to do is you've got to set time every single day to have those conversations, whether it's 15 minutes in the morning before your kids get out of bed. Maybe it's your late night when everybody else is asleep in the house and you're about to hit the bed and you're exhausted, but you know that you haven't really connected with anybody that day. You have to set aside the time. And so that's super, super important. Replying to every single direct message that you get, commenting on other people's posts, replying to stories and polls and everything is all part of what we call the algorithm, and that's for a whole nother training. I actually don't know a lot about the algorithm, but I do know that Instagram likes when you are interactive. So the more you're posting, the more you're doing stories, the more you're interacting and commenting and doing all the polls and all the things that they give us, the more you're going to be seen out there in the big world. So all roads, so I wrote this down in quotes, all roads lead to the DMs. That's where the real conversations are made, and that's where the sales and the conversations about the opportunity start. So all roads lead to the DMs, whether it's you commenting on someone's cute new haircut, or, you know, you're like, I love that movie, whatever it is, all roads lead to the DM. You want to get people in your direct messages. So that's the goal, okay? So a lot of the questions I get are, how do I make small talk, or how do I strike a conversation without looking spammy or ingenuine? And so a couple of things that I do. So here's one of my examples. Last night I was sitting watching The Greatest Showman, which is like the best movie ever. Don't tell me if you haven't watched it, because I can't believe so many people haven't seen it. So I did a poll last night and I said, who has seen The Greatest Showman? And it was 29% have not seen that movie. And I was blown away. Where's my phone? I was gonna grab it. I think I moved it when I scooted back. Anyway, so I think I looked earlier today on the amount of people who had responded to that poll, and it was like, I don't know, 280 or something. And it was like 190 had said yes or whatever. Anyway, but that's 280 people had taken action on that poll. So what does that mean? I have 280 potential conversations waiting for me right there, if you think about that. So I could go on to all the no's, which I did. I went down every single no and I wrote them and said, I cannot believe you have not seen this movie. That is insane. Your assignment is to watch it this week. And I created 29 or whatever, and 29%, it was like 60 people had not seen that movie. And I created conversations with every single person who said no. Will something come of those conversations? Who knows? Hopefully, that's the whole point. But what I've done is I've created a conversation piece, and now we're chatting, and now we're talking, and now we're connecting, and we're more than just two people behind a phone. We're actually having real conversations. And so you have, and then it goes for the other way too. You could also write the people who said yes and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you've seen this movie. It's so good. What was your favorite part? And then you started this conversation. You always leave it with a question, right? Always ask a question that requires them to write back to you. So you created conversation. So that's like a whole day's work right there. That will take you hours. So that's a great idea. A call to action post. I actually did another one of these a couple days ago, I believe 2 days ago. I posted a picture, and I think it was just a selfie of myself, but I said something about, you know, I'm looking for new recipes. Who are your favorite accounts to follow on Instagram? And I had 10 people, you know, tagging people. Now, the interesting about this is, first of all, you're getting exposure to these accounts that they're tagging. So they're tagging, let's just say, I love to cook, whatever. So they tag the account, I love to cook. Well, now the owner of I love to cook just saw that she got tagged on my page. So she might come follow me. And then what also happens is I've kind of migrated to a different niche. So someone who might not really care about my leggings might really care about showing me what recipes they like to cook with, or they like what accounts they like to follow for the recipes. So they've commented on a post that maybe they've never commented on any of my posts before because they don't really know about Zaya or really understand what I do, but they do know that they love to cook. And so they're going to comment on that. Now what's happened with the algorithm, the next time they open their phone, they're going to see my next post because they just commented on my post. So they, you know, they're commenting, and so Instagram's like, oh, you like Allie's post, I'm going to show you more of Allie's posting. And so it just changes. So you're changing these different interactions and different people and bringing in all different kinds of people without looking spammy. The question boxes are really, really good up in your stories. So the one that says, you know, it's just like a little question sticker. So you can do like, ask me a question. You can ask people's opinions about, you know, what should I do about this, XYZ. I can't think of an example right now. But those are really good ones to start conversations. Okay, pillar number 2 is branding. Actually, this is funny. The first time I ever heard anyone talk about branding was Katie. So I feel like I learned some of my branding stuff from Katie. But when you're building your brand, you need to make it a personal and a product-based brand. So I'll repeat that. So your brand needs to be a personal brand and a product-based brand. And they have to marry each other. So this is kind of confusing. But basically, you have to show how your product or your brand, Zaya Active, how it's affecting you in a personal way. What is it doing to make you live the way that you live? So the product that you offer is helping you live the lifestyle that you're showcasing through your personal brand. Does that make sense? So how is Zaya affecting you every day? What are you doing every day? So Katie does a really good job of this. She did today. It was, this is what I'm doing. This is what I do my Mondays. This is what I do for my business. Showing people how what you're doing affects your daily life. So we talked about this a little bit. Branding requires you to find your niche and really hone in on who you want to attract to your Instagram or your Facebook. Sometimes people have a hard time with this one. I don't know what my niche is. I'm just a stay-at-home mom, or I work all day. I really don't have like a niche. And did you know that this was an interesting statistic I actually just read today? 72% of network marketers don't know who their target audience is. That's a lot. That is a lot. That's a lot of people just floating around like hoping and grabbing that they can like find someone to buy something, but they're not promoting to their target audience, which is really sad and scary. So don't be one of those people. Figure out who they are. And if you don't know how, this is where your stories come in. We talked about your stories matter. This is where the stories come in. Okay, so once you start telling your stories, you'll figure out what your niche is. So maybe you just want to show different things. So maybe you do like a grocery store haul. Like you show everything that you purchased at Trader Joe's or Costco, and you're, hey guys, I just got back from my grocery shopping. this is what I ordered. And people who are into that kind of stuff, like I actually have a friend who loves grocery hauls. Like she talks about me all the time, and I'm like, this is so weird. I have no desire. Like I don't care to watch people like show me what they bought in their groceries. But she's like, oh my gosh, did you see this grocery haul on so and so's account? And I'm like, no, I did not see her grocery haul. But someone's gonna relate to that, and someone's gonna care about that. So maybe it doesn't feel natural to you, but maybe you share it anyway because someone might. And then all of a sudden there's something that comes into your DM. Oh my gosh, I love those chips too. Those are the best. Boom, you've got a conversation starter. Maybe you should share a great book that you read. Maybe you share a discounted item that you bought. So I kind of have a funny, like I have these slippers that I like, and they're like a thing. They're like part of my personal brand, I feel like. Like I share these slippers at least like once every couple of weeks. And I've had a lot of people purchase them. And so like we talk about them, people tag me, it's like one of my things, and it's really weird. But you find what your niche is and you find your people. And like for me, I know that my people love discounted stuff. Like if I find a good deal, I get so many DMs that are like, thank you for sharing, thank you for sharing. So I know that's like part of my niche is I have a lot of people who follow me for deals. So I like to share deals. I like to share other things that I'm wearing that maybe aren't Zaya, because I know that those people, they trust me for sharing other deals, and so then they also trust me to buy Zaya too. I don't usually give them a deal on their Zaya though. That is one thing I don't discount because we have a product that does not need to be discounted. Everybody write that down. Okay, another thing is to tell funny stories. So I told a story, what was that, 2 months ago? It was right after my kids had just started going back to school, and I actually forgot to pick them up from school. So I got a call from the school, and they were like, hey, it's, school's been out for like 25 minutes. Are you coming to get your children? And I was like, oh my gosh, it was a Wednesday. It was a new release Wednesday. The website was not working. I was like, oh, freaking Zaya, like I forgot my children. And it was a funny story. So I ended up telling that, and I had a lot of people messaging me back, like telling me they had done it before. Just another great conversation starter. So tell your stories because your stories matter, and they get people laughing and relating to you and relating to those silly moments. Okay, moving on. So pillar number 3 is your content. Okay, so have you guys ever heard of post and pray? Never post and pray. Okay, that's the post and pray approach where you post one time, maybe every couple of days, and you just pray that someone that likes you will see it and buy it. That's the post and pray. So we don't want to be those people, okay? We have to do things with purpose. You have to post with purpose. So you have to post every day. I always say a good rule of thumb is 2 times a day. If you're really wanting to be successful in social media, 2 times. And I actually was listening, I don't know if any of you guys are listening to the GoPro challenge with Eric Ward this week that's been going on. It's been incredible. And there was a girl, I think it was Jamie Lee Ward. She did a training. She is crazy, you guys. That girl is crazy. But anyway, she was talking about social media, and she said you cannot post too much on social media. You can't. Like, you have to be seen, and I think the percentage of what people see is like 3% of stuff that you post. So the more you post, the more you'll be seen. You cannot post too much on social media, and if people are seeing too much of you and they don't want to follow you, bye, see you later. Doesn't matter. Who cares? We don't care about them. So don't worry if you're posting too much. It's never too much. So a good rule of thumb is 2 times a day for your posts, and then getting into your stories 3 times a day. And for me, that looks like about 15 to 20 of those little dots in the top. I call them the frames. So that looks like 15 to 20 frames, and that's 3 times a day. So I'm usually popping in sometimes in the morning, just like whether I'm showing a picture of like my coffee cup or whatever. And then I always do a product review. As long as I have my head on straight, I'll do a product review. People know that. They know that they're going to see that from me. And I usually pop in at night with something, some sort of something, whether it's whatever movie I'm watching, or again, a funny story, a recipe, something like that. So try to pop in 3 times a day. You want 15 to 20 frames because you never want your stories to expire, which means that you've gone 24 hours without a story. Otherwise, that's just going to ruin everything you did with your algorithm. So don't let your stories expire. Okay, and then your bio. What does your bio look like? Your bio is like your Match.com. So when you have someone go, if you're like online dating and you have a match.com, like that's your first impression, right? Like that's your profile. People are coming to see, do they like you? Do they want to go on a date with you? It's the same thing with Zaya. When they come and they see your profile, what are they getting from that? Is it myzaya.com/so-and-so-and-so-and-so? Purchase my leggings here. No one knows what that means. No one could care less what that means. Does it say I'm a mom? I have 3 dogs. I like to do yoga. That's all great stuff, but you want to attract business builders and customers. You got to give them more than that. So are you a leader? Are you looking to, grow your team? Give them something to, what are you showing me, Katie? Give them something to come back for.
I'm showing yours. If you guys don't follow Allie, go look at hers. So it's so good. I mean, it really like hones in. She's Zaya Top Leader, Allie Holt, building leaders in all caps since 2017. I love that because it tells you when you started. Join my team. Join is in caps of 1,200 plus. So smart. Helping you find financial freedom. She has her rank. And then shop or rep my activewear. So don't just copy Allie's, but I mean, I think it's really good. I love the bolded text. She's got a couple emojis in there. So when you guys are writing your bio, check out some people's bios and then you'll kind of be able to piece together what you want. But it's so good.
Oh, thanks. I just revamped it. And I honestly kind of want to take my rank out of there because people don't know what a double Zaya, that's great that reps know. I don't care that the reps know. I couldn't care less, honestly, about my rank. I love what I do. And I kind of put that in there at the beginning thinking oh, this is really cool. Cause I'm proud of myself from where I've come, but also the, person who lives across the street from me doesn't even know what his double Zaya executive is. They couldn't care less, but will she care that I'm building a team of 1,200 people? Yeah, that's kind of cool. So I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I want on there. And yeah, Tasha, you said it does limit what you could type there. I think you have so many characters. Is it 150? You just have to figure out what's most important. I had mine discount on first order. And then I was no, that's going to come up in a conversation in my DMs. That's fine. It doesn't need to be in there. So just figure out, the strong, what makes you who you are in your business. And then the other stuff will come in. You can talk about being a mom. You can talk about your love for animals. You can talk about that you do bar, but that doesn't necessarily need to be in your bio. Make your bio strong. Okay. So that's your first impression. And then I talked a little bit about this in my summit training, but your content, there's always 3 things that your content needs to do. That's number 1, inspire. It needs to inspire people. It needs to educate people, and it needs to entertain. So the hardest one for network marketers, for us, I think, is educate. Well, and I say hardest meaning we love to educate. We will talk about Zaya all day and this is what it is and these are what our leggings do. We can educate, but sometimes that's really boring. Sometimes that's really boring, and it's I follow other network marketing women too, and sometimes I'm just skip. And then when they start telling the funny story, I'm oh, now I'm here. I want to hear the story. Oh, skip. I don't really care about what your facial stuff does. But then eventually the goal is that they do start listening to what you have to say because they start to like you from your funny stories and from the other things that make you relatable. And then once you've gained that trust, you can inspire them to purchase from you and ultimately join your team. Let's see. Okay, so people will buy from those who they know, they like, and they trust. Those are the 3 factors, the know, like, trust factor. And so again, just opening up your life a little bit and letting them in, that's going to happen in your stories. So if you're not comfortable being in your stories, it's time to get uncomfortable. You've got to get in there, and it gets easier, you guys. It gets easier. The first, I remember the first few videos I did, they're so bad. They were so bad. And I remember just oh my gosh, what am I doing? I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't even know how to hold my phone. My leg was up on my bathroom counter. I was is this even right? Can you see what I'm doing? And yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly the first few weeks, but it gets better and you become more confident. And honestly, I've gone back to my old stories from back, because you can go back if you click on your highlights, you can actually go all the way back to your archives. And I was actually reminiscing a couple of days ago because it was my 3-year Zaya-versary. So I was kind of going back looking at old pictures and videos, and I mean, just my confidence level, you guys, I remember, I mean, I think I was just nervous, but I was just like, okay, these are the Bumblebee leggings. They're really cool. Like, I think I was more focused, but now like I have fun and I smile and I, you know, I'm excited and I want to show these people these products, and I, you know, I'm honest, and I tell them like, you're crazy if you haven't tried these leggings, you guys are crazy. And so just talking with enthusiasm and having fun and showing passion for what you're doing, it'll make a huge, huge difference in your sales. So also showing the benefits of your product and not just what they do. So it's really easy sometimes to say, you guys really should try the light and tight leggings. They are so, so good. Everybody loves them. Grab yourself a pair today. Like, that's a really good pitch, but what do the light and tights do? Like, why are they so awesome? Do they hide your cellulite? Do they stay up when you work out? They don't roll down, they're sweat wicking, they move with your body. All these things, you have to educate your customers in order for them to purchase. Otherwise, they're just gonna be like, well, that's great that she loves her Zaya so much, but no one knows why in the world. No one knows. So make sure that you show the benefits of what they do and not just what they are. Okay, so to end, I have a couple of non-spammy content ideas for you. So if you guys are like, okay, I'm ready to do this, just really don't know where to start. So I have 12. I have 12. So I'll go fast. So number 1, a fill in the blank sentence is always good. So where is my phone? Okay, here it is. Sorry, guys. Where did it go? So I grabbed this one. I'll probably do this one sometime next week, but this would be a good one. Today I am grateful for. Post that in your posts, and just say, drop a comment and tell me what you're thankful for this week. All of a sudden, people will be commenting. Your algorithm will be shooting through the roof because you've got people that maybe, again, don't normally comment on your posts. They will comment on this one, because how can you not comment on what you're grateful for? That's like such an easy one to comment on. Number 2, so that's fill in the blank sentence. So you could do that. You could do whatever. Come up with, I'm sure you could go on Pinterest and find some awesome fill in the blank posts. Number 2, behind the scenes. This is one that I do a lot when I have Facebook parties. I do like a quick pan of my closet of the aftermath, which you guys can see right here is really, really bad. It's really bad.
That is called hustle.
That is hustle right there. So it is I got hustle all over the floor. But yeah, so I usually do that because that makes me relatable. So I'll do a quick pan and just say, you know, crazy night, kids are banging on my closet door and I've got clothes all over the floor, but I'm working, and that makes it relatable, right? So I'm going to do a behind the scenes of what my business looks like behind the scenes, because you don't want people to think it's always glorious, because it's not. It's hard sometimes and it's messy. So behind the scenes are really good content ideas. A contest or a giveaway is number 3. Those are always fun. That gets engagement. Again, you don't have to do those all the time. You don't want to be giving away Zaya too much, but on special occasions, that's fun. Number 4, a product spotlight. So maybe you do, maybe every day you do something different. Today I'm going to highlight bras, and I'm going to try on 3 of our top selling bras for you. So then you do a post, and then you do a matching story. I like to match sometimes. And so I'll do like, you know, I'll do a picture of what I'm wearing that day, and then my story will also match what I'm wearing. Kind of weird. Number 5, get to know me. So do your followers know who you are? Have you done an introductory post? A lot of the times people don't even know who they're following. It can be very hard to know, especially with network marketers. A lot of us look like we have the same accounts because they're stock photos, and then, you know, all the things look the same. And so you really want to differentiate your account to look different than everybody else's. So take a selfie of yourself and say, here's 10 things you might not know about me, the girl behind the phone, and post 10 things about you. Number 6, client testimonials, super, super good. Like, that is gold right there. People love testimonials. So you can post those to your stories. You can post those to your wall, your page. Number 7, tips related to your niche or your products. So maybe you could do like a caring for your Zaya Active. Are you a customer of Zaya? Here's how to care for your products. That's always like a good non-spammy one. Okay, I only have 11 because I went from 7 to 9. I can't count apparently. Okay, so 8, seasonal content. So we have Christmas coming up. This is a really great time to start posting about, talking about gift giving, buying for your friends, your daughter, sister, mom, husband, whoever. Also holiday parties. You can talk about, hey, I have a holiday themed party if you're interested. You guys, someone made a really cute elf themed party and they posted it to the marketing group, and it is so cute. So you can kind of promote a holiday themed party. Number 9, we talked about this, a lifestyle post. How is Zaya fitting into your life? A lot of us have traveled with the company, so posting pictures. If you've ever traveled with Zaya for Summit, if you've ever gone to any of the trips, anything, that is gold. That is like attraction marketing gold right there, because that creates FOMO. That creates people putting themselves in your shoes saying, wow, that looks awesome. I wish I could leave my 3 little kids for 3 days and go have fun with a bunch of girls. That looks amazing. So it creates this FOMO. So if you have pictures from trips, that is gold. If you haven't been on a trip, work hard to get there because it is so worth it. Okay, so a lifestyle picture. Oh, and then if you don't have that, that's okay too. You could get your phone out right now and we could all take a picture, and then you could post this to your stories and say, I love what I do. I love networking with the women in my company. This has been such a great night. Allie is the best speaker ever. No, just kidding. Don't post that. I'm totally kidding. But this is attraction marketing, and I do this every single time I have a Zoom call. Well, I don't post it every time, but because it would be a lot of Zoom calls, but I do it often where I post my Zoom call and I say, this is what I'm doing tonight. Because again, that creates this, fear of missing out. It creates people like, oh, that is so cool. Like, she gets to network with all these cool boss babes, and it's just another form of marketing. You can share, okay, so number 10, I don't know which number I'm on, you guys.
Yeah, 10.
Create a free resource. So if you have something that you feel you have of value to people, maybe you're really good at cooking chocolate chip cookies and you have like the best recipe that you want to share. You can say, come download this free, or snapshot this recipe. Providing people with free resources, people love that. Then they start trusting you. They build that trust with you. They want to come back for more. And then the last one, we already talked about this one, is the Ask Me Anything question sticker. Sometimes I do this up in my stories where I'll do it like, ask me anything about like anything. And then sometimes I do it specifically about, ask me anything about the Zaya opportunity. And you can kind of go in there and people ask you questions, and then you create conversations back and forth with these people, and it's really cool. So that's all I have. That's all I have, but I hope that's helpful a little bit.
Oh, it's so good. I feel like this is like such good information to get everybody like ramped back up and ready to go. I feel ready to go.
Right.
Allie, and the thing that really stuck out to me. So right before we got on this call, I was on Instagram and I saw Travis, our photographer, posted a picture and it said, be humble, be hungry, and always be the hardest worker in the room. And I thought of you, Allie, as you were talking, because it's clear that what you're doing, you may have people coming to you and that's the easier way, but you guys see, she is like following up constantly. So people are, doing her polls, and she went out and did those, whatever, 60 conversations or whatever it was. Like, it's not like her business just got like this because she got lucky and people really like her. She's doing a lot of behind the scenes work. So this is a way, I think, lovelier way to run your business, but it is hard work too. So I thought of you, Allie, when I read that quote, or when you started talking, because you work really, really hard.
It is a lot of work. It is. But I feel like, guess what else is hard work? Cold messaging.
Absolutely.
A lot of us don't like I don't like that. And I still try it. And I still just, every time I push send, I'm like, this isn't me. This isn't me. Right. And so, yes, like I still do it because I see the value in it, and it also creates relationships and it plants seeds. And so I do see some value in it, but it doesn't have to be that way all the time. And so you will get people, eventually people start coming to you. I think 80, like I said in my summit thing, I think it was like 87% of people that I've recruited have come to me. And the other ones were like party hostesses. So my cold messaging doesn't work. Like, it's terrible.
Mine too.
Just, yeah. So.
Well, doing those interactive posts and polls and all that stuff, it is kind of like a cold message in that you don't know them, but you've got grounds to talk to them. So it's so much lovelier.
Yes, and it's a patience process too. That's what I was going to say. You have to be patient. This isn't something that, you know, you're going to implement and in the next week people are going to be reaching out to you. It's, you know, like 3 years in. I'm 3 years in, and some of the girls that I've recruited, I can actually specifically think of one. She followed me from day one, and finally, like 2 weeks ago, she's like, "Allie, I am ready to join you." And I'm like,
Woo!
"Thank you,
Praise.
thank you." Finally. And so it's not going to be an overnight thing. You're going to create these relationships, and they're going to be your greatest customers, and they might be customers for 2 years. So you just got to have your long-term goggles on and just think, hey, this is not panning out right now, but she might be one of my best leaders in a year from now. So I'm just going to hang tight. I'm going to love on her. And hopefully eventually she will see the opportunity and join after she sees it over and over and over and over from me. And I persist, she'll come around. So yeah, just be patient and think about the future. Because that's what network marketing is. You have to think about it in long term, which I didn't know that when I signed up. I wish someone would have said, like, this isn't going to be like just a short term thing.
I'm so glad we switched the topic of the call, Allie. I think this was really, I think this was actually more valuable than we were going, because we're doing a Go for No challenge this month, I asked Allie about reach out messages. And I actually think this is so much better. So we are doing a Go for No. They're trying to get no's this month. You can still be doing that and should still be doing that, but this just laces in so lovely. So thank you. I think it was really helpful. You're getting a lot of lovely comments over here.
Oh, I'm not reading them. Okay.
And I think you answered the other questions though. I'll send you the recording, Allie, if you want to send it to
Thank
anybody.
you.
Okay, thank you so much. Good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye-bye.